Hello. Sorry I'm late. I needed to make a coffee and I realized I didn't. I've been back on my coffee kick lately. Hello. We are back with more Epstein. We'll see. We'll see how fast I get flagged. The last video I did, I was off. The live ended and I think it was like 2 minutes. 2 minutes before YouTube said nope. So, yeah, we'll see how fast they do it today. Hopefully they don't. But I think they will because I'm showing you guys some pictures today and they're oh so bad. I have about 500 documents open on my screen. So please let me know if I start lagging or something because that means I have too much going on. Where do I start? Hello, welcome back. Thanks for hanging out at Jody Arias early. It was nice to take a break and then come back here and do Epstein stuff now. So after this, we do have Nancy Guthrie live hangout. So hopefully you guys can make it then. Let me see who's here. I saw Debbie and shout out to the replay viewers as well. I can't do it without the replay viewers and the real-time viewers. So shout out to you guys. Debbie, Evie, I saw Crease. Okay. Anton, where have you been? Oh my goodness. I've been missing you, Anton. What's up? Hey, Crease. Hey, Vanjie. Good to see you, love. I saw Born Twice in here. What up? Good to see y'all. Hey, Marcus. And Vanjie. Okay, good. I'm glad everybody's checking in. And hey, Ramon. Good to see you. Anton, you better sit down. Okay, so let me start with I have all the documents. I just didn't pick which ones I wanted to go through first. Well, first of all, let me show you guys what I mean by they're taking them down. Okay, I guess I could do this. So I have so many windows open, I don't even know. Okay, here we go. So there's this document. I guess we can start with this one first. Oh, wait, I'll show you guys that they took this down. We've already covered this. This is the letter between Jeffrey Epstein and Larry Nassar. We read this, I think it was in the first few lives. This has now officially been removed. This has now been removed off of the website. So I will show you guys what that looks like. Because I know I tell you guys about it all the time. I'm like, they took down another file. I don't know why they take them down. They already put him out. Might as well just leave it out. But this one with the Larry Nassar, and we will reread it just to go through it, was removed, and they've been removing a lot of them. So, please hit the like button because when they try to censor me, that helps push me back into the algorithm. Okay, so this one, and I'll show you guys in a second that it was removed 10/9/2019. On Wednesday, September 25th, 2019, Special Agent Redacted received a phone call from _, regarding a letter that was received by the MCC. The letter was a return to sender, and the following was written at the top left corner of the letter: J. Epstein. The letter was postmarked okay and was addressed to Larry Nassar. This address is the one at the reason for the return to sender was the address was no longer addressee was no longer at this address. So, he didn't live there anymore. On Thursday, September 26th, Special Agent picked up the letter. Scans of the envelope and the outside of the letter are digitally attached to this report. According to the lieutenant, the stamp and the stationery are not available for purchase at MCC. There were no logs kept regarding incoming or outgoing mail for Jeffrey Epstein. That I thought I was like, wait, what do you mean? What do you mean you're not tracking his incoming and outgoing mail? First of all, very notorious man. He was just getting away with things in there, is my opinion. So this has officially now been taken down. I don't know. I don't know who decides what comes down and what doesn't. Let me see if I can flip it. No, I don't know how to do that on this program. Sorry, guys. I don't think we had this problem last time. Yeah. It says, so it's from Jeffrey for Larry from Jeffrey. As you know by now, I have taken the short route home. Good luck. We shared one thing, our love and caring for young ladies and the hope they reach their full potential. Ew, sick. Our president also shares our love and that's why they took it down. I just realized that. Sorry, I'm looking sideways. It says our president. That's why it got taken down. Yeah, our president also shares our love of young nubile girls. That's sick. When a young beauty walked by, he loved to quote unquote grab snatch, where we ended up snatching girls in the mess hall halls of the system. Life is unfair. Yours, J. Epstein. And this was in there too. What the heck? That's why it was taken down. Oh, this is like when the male person receiving the evidence. When return to sender card to inmate. So this whole file that was taken down is 300 pages. So I'm going to, we're not going to go through all of it right now, but I'm going to go through it myself and see what's in here, because they obviously took down, I thought it was just this document, but apparently it's 246 pages they took down. So that's no bueno. But yeah, now that I see that it was because the president's involved, that makes sense. Let me put this in my notes. One sec. I think it's already on there. I wonder if all the ones with the POTUS, the hotel. Yeah, I know. I wonder if they're all removed. I shall look. Interesting. This next one is also taken down. Oh, I was going to show you guys what I mean by that. So like that Larry Nassar one, when I went to search for it right here, and go to search, no results found. This one that we're about to read, I didn't understand some of it, but I'll show you. See, the one we're about to read right now, it also says it's been removed. So this one is about, they're talking about how Biden was cloned. I know, it's crazy. It sounds so insane. It really does. My headphones hurting my ear. Oh, my bad. Let me share. So this document talks about Biden being cloned, and this was removed. I just noticed it, I think yesterday morning or today. Let me pull up the description of it. So this suggests that Biden faced a firing squad in 2019 and that the Biden that was the president from 2020 to 2024 was actually an actor. Um, and the file's now not available. So I don't know what to believe, but if they removed it from the website, it makes me think that it's true. But I have it, so let's read it. Don't promise that I understand exactly what's going on. And I might need to, we might need to refer to AI for some things. Let me see. Yeah, I think we need to start from the bottom. So from is redacted, of course. And to who it's redacted, it says, hey, what's up? Importance is high. It says, how are you doing? I've had several conversations with redacted at 𝗕𝗏𝗧, as well as redacted, and I seem to have things straightened out with them moving forward regarding the space at least. But based on talking with them, I'm concerned about you. How are you? Where are you? What's going on? Let me make sure I gave you guys the right information about this document. I have a feeling this isn't the Biden one. Yeah, it is. Okay. It says, regarding the space at least, but based on talking with them, I'm concerned about you. How are you? Where are you? What's going on? Since I've gotten things worked out as far as the lease for the 19th Street with them, I have $100 of yours that really should go back to you. And I'm glad to do that, of course. But mainly, I want to know that you're okay and hear from you. So reply to this email, text me, call me, let me know what is when is good to talk, whatever works best for you. Just do let me know you're okay. The name is redacted. And that was on February 19th, 2021. So this is after Epstein has died, allegedly. This is a lot. I'm gonna go up. So on March 10th, there's a response and it says, attention redacted. And then it names all of these people, like it was like CC to all of them. CEO Google right here. Estimo, I believe I have some information on who she is. It says, hey, thanks. I was going to take it a bit further with you, but I think you could be a key asset, and I need to use my bullets for smarter people. You're just a dumb, worthless FUCK. You may not see this because you're so effing evil, but that's not my point. It's that you're stupid. CC'd and BC'd on this email are military personnel running new hypergraph protocols for internet integrity. They see everything, you dumb effing C word. Attached are the emails you changed on Google servers and on my account original, which we recovered, and I attached here as part of a criminal investigation. What I would suggest, redacted, is this to be cooperative as this unfolds. Change your Gmail account passwords and add two-factor. Back up locally and start keeping good records in between supporting baby effers. Baby effers. Decide if you want to live in prison when maritime law hits or be with your family. Begin the process of seeing if you can add value when you're contacted by the CIA. red team folks go up the ladder and trap some important folks. Think about that now in between your satanic mouth foaming. I'm like, what the heck? You know, the person in this email sounds crazy, but they say a lot of things that are true. Um, the last is most important for your future. You're one of the few non-tech people who was highly compromised and did illegal deals with redacted. He's the most oh, sorry. He's the most compromised low-level person. We're going after the really high-level people in the Silicon Valley, not wannabes like redacted, redacted, and redacted. If you need anything else or have leads, you want me to pass on the folks in the military in charge under the president, you can send them to redacted. Again, you are a really stupid version of the worthless mother effers I'm dealing with. Catching you only took a few dozen emails and some payments and no calls. Do remember that hypergraph blockchain protocols in place include the quantum financial system. So keep the $100, but I use that as a timestamp trap to catch you. The Zelle payment, rectify with the emails I'm attaching here. My God, you're effing dumb. Where are the other payments? We'll find them all. So good luck in the investigations. Spend the next few weeks thinking quietly to yourself about who else you can bring in as trades for your own future well-being. Epstein was pretty important in that way. By the way, what's your chance your laser guy from California is from the 516? Get your shit together if you're going to help us. Our quantum technology are, okay, big number, more sophisticated than the occult Illuminati stuff that you did with redacted in June of 2020 to change your phone number to some laser parlor. Isn't that crazy? They even bring the Illuminati up in here. So allegedly, let me see who they think wrote this. Yeah, I don't think we know. We can assume. I'm trying to see who people think it is. It's obviously someone that's gonna spill the beans. And then it says redacted. Copying redacted who is most fakely wholesome, appearing criminal here, and is deathly afraid of shame and public accountability. If you Google Luna, it does. It does? Oh, I didn't know that. Hey, Luna. Hey, old days. Glad you made it. All of those people make the trend. Yeah, they do. Copying redacted who is most fakely wholesome, appearing criminal here, and is deathly afraid of shame and public accountability. Redacted. In addition to you being a worthless idiot and bad investor, I do want you to know that if I see you before this is resolved, I will put my fist through your effing face just like I did to redacted. You know, redacted is just dumb and emotionally unintelligible, but it's twisted Fs like you guys that fake your whole entire life that I enjoy most giving punishment to. See attachment of what will entrap you. Time does evolve quickly sometimes, doesn't it? And then it goes to the next person. Copying redacted, who is, well, just an effing idiot, who sent me some threatening note in December about the New York Times and now must face a full subpoena for all the email records of what he did behind my back leading up to this. Next person. Redacted. When you get your left hand out of your PUSSY, please call your occult team member on Telegram and tell them what the F happened. You are literally brain dead and I could do your job better. So, Telegram is really well known for that, PDF files and such. And, you know, this person keeps bringing up the I word and the O word, if you know what I mean. Hey, Rudy. I didn't know that. Yeah, occult. Yeah, I didn't know that, Divine. I'll have to see that. The FBI and the CIA already clamped this entire effing organization. I want to check off the things I did in the attached. Send threatening emails. Yes. Disclose this publicly. Yes. Break confidentiality. Yes. Violate NDAs. Yes. And then it says next, redacted. Copying redacted, who is a sick, twisted excuse for an actor and who got herself in deep shit badly with criminals, redacted and redacted. And because I think she'll struggle the most, and because the most uncorked leaks when this shit gets started, since she's a dumb devil who can't do spreadsheets while following orders from the other child MOLESTING devils. Redacted. I'm wearing my hat, Josh. All I have, and I have the original text too on backups, as does the hypergraph ledger. Checkmate. Easy tell. Next. Redacted. Bottom feeder. I have proof of the BVP emails. I have proof of your emails to me before. I have timestamps, and then you blocked my phone. Effing coward. I'll attach this preference difference to you. I'll touch this preferably difference for you, since I can assure you there will be pain for you in this a lot. Next person, who will redacted, who will end up playing a role here, as he has, and will be documented for all to see. Attached are the first name communications over the years. At the end, I will line back to you, but with that and out of the way, it's time for context. So then it says, what is this email about? So this, like I said, this claims that Joe Biden never existed, right? And like I said, it was already removed, but from the DOJ website. Sorry, I'm reading my notes. Someone says okay, I'll come back to that. They're saying it was an actor. I'm trying to see if anybody knows who wrote this, because it obviously doesn't say. Yeah, I don't know who it is. Let's continue. What is this email about? As I have documented elsewhere, my termination illegally at the company, in addition to acts that are unthinkably criminal, which occurred by those supporting them, mean I am changing the strategy, because many of your Silicon Valley criminal ring accomplices already attempted to use your looking glass shit with redacted and redacted from redacted. I'll let you go back and talk to them in 2020 to try to fix this. So go on a spree with all your devices, finding them and trying to correlate your faked documentation. And don't download any effing child corn in the meantime, because that shit's being tracked. When you go through the attachments here, do you really don't think we don't have mountains of other timestamps with your sick, twisted, occult behavior? I mean, come on. I even have redacted posting as a fake laser parlor person in June 2020. Redacted people from California don't have 516 numbers. Okay, you untrainable criminal moron. This shit is going public, all of it. So follow the rules. 1. Below roughly is what I recommend when this email catches up with you. Attached are deliberate leaks of confidential info and contracts that violate your terms of estimodo deals, including the deal I signed with Google. If you don't understand yet, I am running shit. I started this long ago, decades ago. The traps I set are simply monumentous. I'm copying some other random people just to directly violate the NDAs further and scorn the threatening fake letter that redacted both sent me and forged my signatures on to eject me out of 𝗲𝗏𝗧𝗏𝗏. You'll have to track down who they are because now the information is leaked. I wonder who they are. Again, this is serious. I was terminated and left to die in a hospital. And meanwhile, you all tried to reinforce that by lying that you knew my health insurance was terminated. You worthless, sick effing people. I will attach proof in an upcoming D-class emails, which add fuel to the criminal non-common law proceeding, which will come next. No mercy. I believe this is someone who worked for, I want to say maybe JE. It's as scary as it goes. The DOJ played this perfectly so far. Any member can view the files redacted, but it's not without issue. What they search is being tracked. It's going to blow up eventually. Yeah, I agree. 𝗕𝗪𝗀𝗃𝗍𝗍. Attached are a bunch of records on 𝗲𝗏𝗧 and emails and contracts. I have all records, and so do we. Remember, there are a number of poison pills set which track what's next. So plan carefully, and thanks for firing me. So it looks like it was someone who got fired and is gonna snitch. Now 4, and now I have the effing evidence to tell the story, which happened to coincide coincidentally with me blogging for the last decade and setting effing traps for weak PUSSY criminals. 5, as someone who had been in tune with the truth and law for decades, I don't usually get involved too heavily in who the next president is. What I work on is finding evidence that can be useful in being genius level at putting things together. So that's the role I will play here. What has occurred violates US constitutional laws and will be relevant for pursuing crimes against humanity for the people who like effing and killing children and babies. Oh, it pays to be polarizing. Duh. JB3. Oh, good. You changed your name. That's why I didn't recognize it. Good to see you. Yeah. So this person's saying, look, crimes against humanity for the people who like effing and killing children and babies. And that shit's about to come out soon. It will be so multidimensional that the ways we caught the criminals will be told for all eternity. I bet this person is gone. I know, it's intense. So effing get ready. The non-game is just starting. And when it ends, this entire email will be online for everyone to read. So if you have any questions, maybe track down the folks copied here or contact your next president with a little inquiry into where and how I'm going to pull my effing GUN out the next one. It could be loaded with bullets like this, or it could include real silver ones that will go right through the effing child molester skull. And redacted, pull your blood-tainted ANAL beads out of your effing VAGINA long enough to get on this D class. Attachments, Capital One contract, AstraZeneca. AstraZeneca is a pharmaceutical company. Google contract, Amazon emails, unauthorized to BOD investment from 𝗲𝗄𝗎 Capital, fraudulent redacted paperwork, board changes, State Street MSA, bunch of other random stuff. Here's what to possibly expect next if we don't get the lawsuit to 𝗲𝗏𝗧 and the burning down of this thing fast. Aiding Apple to threads publicly, adding Amazon to threads publicly, adding Nike to threads publicly. I have way more data than I am letting on, as do we. Ask yourself, is this guy crazy or is he in control? Did you all think you were going to win with your occult backwards yesterday time-shifting technology and shit like email and iCloud? F me. We have pretty good technology too, and it's not from effing 2005. It's an effing hypergraph ledger recording everything on the meta net, which has been happening and which twisted, dumb people don't know anything about. Imagine that. We are tracking everything. Wake up. and it will be used in effing maritime law court of justice, the same kind that Josh knows about where his former pal Redacted got tried in Guantanamo Bay. See video below. Now that we've established that I am pushing for the lawsuits hard, because I have many more people I will be adding to emails if it isn't happening. People at the world's premier tech companies. What if next time it gets even bigger? What is Redacted gonna do then? Who is he gonna call? He didn't literally do one effing thing while on board except embezzle and lie. As you know, the greatest things ever are happening right now. A great awakening, and it's not among the people here. A new world order, one that allows people to not be afraid of the truth. Yo, this was written in 2021. Did I fool the Valley? I was writing in their image sensing car using their cute digital tools, Clubhouse and Chalk. Yes, I did. The whole disclosure is happening with or without you. And as you know, Redacted, it's already been done. So tell Redacted to take her vitamin D. Here is where we go from here. I get responses to this email chain or more and more contracts get added, each time from a different server. It's all on quantum and upcoming revelations will be earth shattering. Absolutely earth shattering. I'm not talking about my case. I'm talking about the world's and public shaming of you. Oh, and Redacted. Did you really think I was stupid for sending you the $100 payment first? Good luck trying to erase that from the banks, because when they knock on your door, that timestamp was running on QFS Nassar Doc. Let me Google that for you. I don't know what any of that is. Wait. Yeah, I do. Hmm. What is that? Let me actually look it up. Let me know if you guys know in the chat. I'll come back and check on you guys. That's weird. It doesn't say anything. That has to. Oh, someone said, does that what does that stand for? Hmm. Who was president in 2006? This thing is crazy. We haven't even got to the crazy part. I was interested in what these things are right here, but I can look them up later. The level of evil that exists is swallowing the world. Bush was president in 2006. It says, you know what? Can you see how I didn't even bother to copy your pals in crime, redacted, redacted, and redacted, whom already are stupid chosen fall guys in the past for these crimes? Correct, because then you'd have to forward the email onto them. Choose wisely. If you're upset these swear words were directed to you, that's fine. You're right that we have fewer communications over the years, but get your shit together on the lawsuits fast so I can move to the next stages. Bush Jr. I don't know what BPV is. Wait, what was it? Let me look it up. Yeah, BPV. Wait. Is that like a health condition? Because that's what it's coming up. But I don't know with them. It could be like a code word, right? Yeah, he did. He set it up here. Estimote 2, I think, is BPV videos. Yeah, see and when I Google it brings up like some diseases. I don't know what he means by that, or whoever this person is. Yeah, I keep saying it's That's interesting because it's coming up as like some genetics cell thing. Where did we see that? I'll have to go back and find it. I'm curious where we saw that. Because that's interesting. If it has something to do with maybe like the stuff they were doing, you know? Because it's coming up as like a academic molecular biology. But I don't know what that would have to do with the pharmaceutical. Oh, it's the pharmaceutical companies. Oh, trans-related. I don't know. That's interesting. I didn't know that. I have something. I'll have to find it when I'm done reading this, but I have like a note section about Estimo. I think that's a company, right? It says, if he does, then Estimo and its board deal with fast fallout, and Redacted has to forward this communication to lawyers and others. If he does sue, he'll find out that liability is quite different than anything normal and is also twisted since I'm the only one in history ever to sign a contract with Google with capped indemnification liabilities. If he does not sue, then at least it's a distraction from things. And clearly, the Estimo deployment is burned down to the ground now that I have been ejected out of the company illegally. This effectively makes Estimo unfundable ever again and bigger D-class public story than anything I can remember in Silicon Valley, and also kills the Google deal and all COVID deployment deals. If he stalls, then a lot more D-class starts coming until something breaks. And I would caution you against discussing me with Chris Jensen or with my ex-girlfriend's mother, as all records on that have been preserved, especially in and around March 2017. And if I find out something happened that put my family in harm's way, the punishment will be 1,000 times greater than what I'm about to unleash. Times are relevant here, as I know much more at this point than you think. Oh, it says the content. Oh, so a former Estimo associate is accusing the recipient of being part of an Epstein-like cabal involved in CA and trafficking. So this is like an employee from Estimo that got fired or let go or whatever happened. And he's like, I'm spilling the beans and effing you guys over. Because here's what to expect. Global banning of common laws. Maritime laws is coming, and the selling and owning of human souls is over. There is no factual evidence on the methods of operation for how law and legal proceedings will work next. I do encourage you to watch the video and understand how the common laws are going away. Redacted, quit fiddling your Redacted and call Redacted, who has so much info that will incriminate you, that when he deletes it, we'll find it on the quantum system that this great gentleman Redacted has made very clear in the video above. Hint, Biden is not your current president. The mask malfunctions on Biden are getting worse and worse each day on purpose. This will end badly for Redacted, who is posing with an effing clone on Facebook. The dude playing Biden ain't Biden. Real Biden was an evil, sick, angry man who abused children, including his own children. That's an actor with an effing mask. We've been over this 1,000 times. It's never going to change. Biden is shot 2019 firing squad. This document, I noticed was removed from the website yesterday or today. So there has to be some kind of truth to it, right? If they decided that they were going to take it down. Yeah, the pharmaceutical companies. Well, whatever they allow us to know is going to be either irrelevant or outdated because they're decades ahead of us in tech and bio experiments. Yeah. So here, this person is saying that, that Biden is basically a clone, which has been a thing, that has been, let me take a drink of my coffee. That is, people say. Do you guys believe that? Or they're trying to make us think it's important? Before getting to help being below, and regardless of the connotation of the swear words here, people who read later will take this email as they may, because the direct threat from you, it says us, is very real. The world deserves to hear the story about how the people here and the Estimo board tried to kill Redacted and remove him from the company during the time of a fake pandemic. Remember when we read the document, one of them that was talking about how they had planned allegedly some kind of pandemic? They all have several clones, in my opinion, says Rebecca. I've seen that and I don't believe it entirely. I do think they had a body double sometimes. Yeah, I think he's a weird looking. Buckle up because the ride is going to get very, very, very rocky when you attempt to conduct crimes against humanity, which is what happened to me and to many others. I am just lucky to be here to help and to set the traps which can help free knowledge. So I'm going to lastly end this on a positive note. In between catching criminals, I have been doing, to the best of my ability, some other things. One of them is for our dear people and children of the world, because when I publish this later and people need context, they can see the timeline, the pictures, the photos. I've been donating to people in Nepal and helping children there. And people like Vipin Sangwan and the little girl in various photos he's helping, well, they deserve the truth. They deserve quite simply to be free, because I'll meld the timelines later and the dead and the D-class emails. I'm going to not to paste the link and info to the charity here, but you can find this beautiful work on my Twitter timeline for a long time, right alongside the tragic screenshots I will attach next time from Redacted. As someone who didn't seem to bite in the past, you people all had the wrong effing read on me. War crimes in 1776, globally and fall of tyrants. This is what we do. Look, if you don't understand, the US military is running this whole quantum and anti crime operation, and I am working with them. Watch this effing next chapter in the movie coming out now. So if things don't work out on my schedule, things will get uglier. Redacted. Thanks again. You're just a low level, dumb baby effing monster. But seriously, did you ever think you'd be copied on an email to the CEO of Google? Haha, yeah. Same goes for satanic redacted. But you twisted low level Fs have lots of insights along with redacted about how far in time we can go back with the blockchain system. We're running to catch real perpetrators. All this time stamped. Justice is coming because I'm burning the whole effing thing down. Best wishes, redacted. Whoever redacted is, we need to make sure that person is still alive, because they just spilled the beans on a lot of stuff here. So the companies attached were Javelin Venture Partners. Let's look. They're out of California. The major business name in the Epstein files. Uh-oh. Ventures capital showing. I know, the CEO of Google, I know that. Inside Jeffrey's secretive Silicon Valley, investments to big tech power company. Yo, that's crazy. NBC News did an article on this just like a couple weeks ago. Tech billionaires, okay, have been in the files. Epstein had friendships or businesses with major tech figures, including Microsoft founder Bill Gates. Yeah, we know that. Sicko Bill Gates. Um, mm, so there's a message before that, and this is from April 2nd. And it says, Agent redacted. See below in case nobody else has sent this out to you yet. Another email came through my Gmail, and it says Charles. Message being forwarded. It says, attention, everyone below. December 21st, 2020. Resending email you haven't received below. Now that you are dealing with the US military, I wanted to resend this over because you see, 𝗲𝗲𝗄𝗏. Please interrupt your pre-Christmas festivities, this great December 21st day of rebirth for us and destruction for many others, and prepare for what is ahead for you in 2021. Adding 2 new people, redacted, who is complicit in crimes and has been expecting this email for 4 years since I warned him in October of 2016. And because when Japan unifies under common law, well, I kind of think they'd also like to know the story too. This isn't US only. Redacted. Sometimes those perceived to be the highest have to fall the hardest for the world to learn. You realize how much activity is tied to you and YC that is already captured by us. We put you back there last year for a good reason. Good job with treasonous acts, abetting criminals, and paying people to harm me. All will come out in military court. Treason against the United States, against a United States patriot, and doing it through Poland, well, sorry, that too will be part of the crimes you've committed against the Constitution, which next spring will protect the people of the entire world. Because although you can't see it, by next April, you will see the world become free from tyranny when Nassar and 𝗲𝗲𝗄𝗏 is launched. And some of you may not watch from your couch. Military tribunals start in January. Hmm. I wonder what YC is tied to you and YC. Realize how much activity is tied to you and YC. Yeah. There it is. Google, I know. Who would write like this? It seems like fiction. Only thoughts this person is a hacker. No, I think it's someone who was mad and losing their shit because they got fired from this Estimo company. What is that? Oh, let me just go to the website. UWB tags? Does that sound so apparently okay, this makes more sense. Josh. His name is Josh. Nassar Doc, it's a conspiracy theory. The woman who promoted it died in 2010. This was set in 2021. It reads a lot like Q stuff. It talks about how Biden was a robot. Yeah. Oh, whoa. They think it could have been Steve Cheney. It could be because I guess he used to work for this company. What is that company? Revolutionize the way businesses interact with physical spaces through the use of small wireless sensors. This can't be it, right? They can trigger actions based on how close you get. What are they used for? I mean, it says it was a tech company, but okay, it could be when they communicate, they measure these time radio signals traveling from one time to another, from one to another by multiplying this by the speed of light. They're like, it's like popular emerging technology for positioning. Cars like Tesla and BMW use this for carless entry and hands-free experiences. Sounds about right, actually. So that CEO is in here? Estimo. Whoa. Polarizing, yeah, that's not good. Yeah, that's a weird email from somebody who's clearly very angry and threatening all kinds of things. Interesting. So that was removed from the website today. That one says that Biden was a clone. Let's move on to the next document. I'll have to look into that estimote thing. That's interesting. Okay. This next one. So I have to jump in between screens because I have so many open. Okay. This document says the Honorable the Honorable Jeffrey Epstein, United States Attorney for the Southern District of New York. Unfortunately, I don't know who that is. Sorry, I was reading something. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not super familiar with him. Jeffrey Epstein. Former United States Attorney for Southern District of New York, who led the federal prosecution against financer and convicted sex offender. Oh, he led the prosecution against him. Berman announced the unsealing a federal indictment charging Epstein with, the charges. Following Epstein's alleged death, Berman affirmed that the investigation into the conduct charged in the indictment, including potential co-conspirators, remained ongoing. Berman conducted a hearing in August 2019 to allow victims to speak in the absence of a trial. Berman charged the 2 federal corrections officers responsible for guarding Epstein with falsifying records. Berman publicly addressed the lack of cooperation from Prince Andrew, stating that the prince had completely shut the door on voluntarily interviewing with federal investigators regarding his relationship with Epstein. Berman was fired by Donald Trump. I don't know why I said J. In June of 2020, following a standoff with William Barr. The investigation initiated by Berman's office led to the arrest of Ghislaine. Oh, wow. So yeah, this is, now I don't know if it's going to him or he's sending it. I think somebody sent it to him. Let's read it. Redacted, and her husband, redacted, are leaders of a P and child M and sex traffic. Our leaders of a prostitution and child molestation and sex trafficking syndicate known as Ashley Madison Network. What? A large majority of the funding for said network is held in the accounts of capital investors and property they have acquired. Much of the property is used to house people with radio transmitters. These transmitters send a signal of RF audio and video that are used to make people receive the signal in a way that interferes with their central nervous system. Wait, what is going on? Oh, I see, green-eyed. Ashley Madison? No, why is that not ringing a bell? I don't remember that. Okay, so this document, it explains how driving people to commit S is a common practice with directed energy weapons. Come again? What? Okay, I'll show you guys this in a second. Whoa. Also to drive a target to commit a mass pew and then unaliving. That's creepy. How they like program people. Ashley Madison was dating site for married men. It was? No way. Yeah, remember the blue and white striped building? Yeah. The temple. Oh. So it was a temple then that they used for you know what? And also went under, I think, after. Mind control. Yes, Ramon. Barr was on the island. This is a creepy freaking document. It says a large majority of the funding for said network is held in the accounts of capital investors and property they have acquired. Much of the property is used. Oh, I already read that. My bad. To interfere with the central nervous system. These transmitter people use extensive conditioning techniques to make people experience tactile, auditory, and visual hallucinations. It is used extensively to What? It is used extensively to molest children. These transmitters often are readily visible from the street as satellite dishes. Between the radio signal that is recorded of a person near a transceiver and the conditioning, people who hear the transmission begin to experience sensation similar to the person who made the recording. This ham radio technique makes it seem as though people are hearing voices and feeling these other hallucinations that resemble SCX interactions with other people. This technology is what was used to communicate to and harass Jeffrey Epstein while in prison. Driving people to commit unaliving is a common practice with these transmitters. They also frequently attempt to replicate break-ins and home invasions. For some reason, people who have them meddle in the lives of others and attempt to cause as much harm as possible. Wait, that is really crazy. Voice to school transmitters discussed to and letter to SDN. Oh, so the letter went to the Jeffrey Berman. Used to send radio frequency and audiovisual to interfere with the central system, implicating the Ashley Madison network. Okay, let's go look at that. I'm gonna go check out that website with you guys here. Toronto-based dating website launched in 2022. Have an affair. 37 million users globally before a 2015 data breach exposed widespread fake profiles. The site operated on a credit card system when men paid to message women, while female profiles were often automated fembots. In July of 2015, a group calling themselves the Impact Team breached the network, demanding its shutdown, citing fraudulent practices. When demands were not met, the hackers released 10 gigabyte to 37 gigabyte of data, including names, emails, and financial details of over 36 million. Wait, how do we know Jeffrey Epstein didn't do that? The breach caused massive personal, professional, and legal fallout, resulting in an 11.2 million settlement by the company in 2017. So wait, this document that we're reading right now is saying our leaders of prostitution and child trafficking syndicate known as Ashley. So they're saying it wasn't a dating site, that it was a trafficking site? Is that what I'm getting out of this document? Emails reveal Epstein's network of powerful. I'm confused. The leaders of that network. I had never heard of that. That's interesting. Who's it from? It doesn't say. It went to the district attorney who brought down Ghislaine. All dating. Do you know how many people all over? Really? I didn't even know of this. Pulses? Programming humans? Okay, let's see. Capital firms and private capital corporations hold most of the funds that are used by this system. Redacted from Redacted has been involved for many years. He allegedly approves the lending of capital he knows should not be approved from Redacted, and he has directed other employees to participate in fraudulent transfers that facilitate the illicit movement of capital. The entire redacted family is involved. Redacted has been essaying children using the radio and using the associated network of child M for decades. Almost all of the family's wealth is derived from this network. Wait. They can make people hear messages through the, yeah, that's crazy. They have recently amassed tens of millions of followers of real estate and tens of millions of dollars of real estate in recent months from transactions with other beneficiaries. Their children, redacted and redacted, are also involved. Redacted used to live in the transmitter apartment next door to mine. I saw her in it having a meeting with Redacted and the owner and other people involved in the Redacted group of the National Ashley Madison SEX network. The Redacted family coordinated groups from all over the country to converge in NYC over the last 2 years. I saw Redacted, husband, Redacted, entering an apartment in August of 2019, even though he is not now or has never been the tenant. I also saw Redacted and her paramour, Redacted, enter the same apartment when Redacted was a tenant in 2018. Eric and his brother Redacted are transmitter people, and that apartment is used for transmitting and for PROST. The current resident, Redacted, also transmits from that apartment. The neighbor across the hall, Redacted, also transmits from his apartment. The owner of that apartment, Redacted, also has knowledge of situation and transmits from his other apartment. There are hundreds of apartments involved. The original transmitter apartment in this building is apartment 8A. It is ostensibly owned by a man named Redacted, that starts with an R. Redacted father acquired the apartment when his son was a teenager after his son's participation in the underage P organization. The company that owned the apartment, Redacted, had prostitutes and their relatives signed for apartments under the auspices of acting as corporate representative. However, over time, they treated the apartments as they were owned by the individuals. These apartments were often accumulated and transacted with by the recipient. Over time, they accumulated a huge amount of real estate and cash. Some of the proceeds are offshore. There is a huge amount of real estate that is allegedly owned by this company that is in the hands of other people and companies. Apartment 7A has been owned by Redacted since he was 17 years old. The penthouse apartments are both involved. There are transmitter people in almost every apartment in the building. Also, on the fourth floor, there's a computer containing an immense child corn library. It is the same material that Jeffrey Epstein kept and used as a compromat. Many of the wealthy and well-known people that are personal associates of the late J.E. are still involved in the organization. Many of the problematic are wealthy, aristocratic art patrons with eponymous museums. Redacted, son of Redacted and Redacted, of the Redacted, manages a major portion of the funding at Deutsche Bank. We read an article the other day on that bank. They can make people hear. That's been going on for many decades, programming people to do schmurders. Wait, so is that like why there's so many shootings in the United States? Like, is that all programmed or what? No, I'm tripping. Let me see. I remember having high frequency transmitter is used to radiate extremely very low frequency. EMF and RF government and military technology. Hmm. Whoa. That's just hold on, let me make sure I don't have any more notes on this document. That's a very uncomfortable document. Well, they all are, but hold please. I want to make sure I don't miss anything as we're going over them. Hmm. I wonder if this document is still up. I didn't check that one. Okay, let's move on to the next one. I want to look more into that whole Ashley Madison thing, though. Was Ashley Madison hacking its competitors? Is it still a thing? It's not. Is it still a dating website? Why didn't any other administration release these? They have known forever. I know. Okay. Oh, it's not? It's not around anymore? Well, because when I Google it, they don't have like a website. It just brings me to like news, um, like people talking about it, it doesn't have like an actual website. Oh, wait, yeah, it does. Oh, it's still there. Let me share my screen. So is this still a trafficking website? Allegedly? If you ever used it or are still using it, you'd have to be a moron. For all we know, all of them could be. Yeah, it's still there. When desire meets discretion, join now. Millions of people just like you are looking for a discreet connection. Whoa. So the owners of or creators of this website are the ones that are being implicated in this document that we just read. Because remember, it says redacted, and her husband redacted are leaders known as the Ashley Madison Network. So I guess we can look up is operated by a Toronto-based company, Ruby Corp. Includes Paul Keeble, Brian Offenheim, George Alcura, Hayes Dang. The site was founded by Darren Morgenstern. Former CEO was Noel Biderman, who led it when all of this was going on. So I guess that would be more important. Is where is Noel Biderman? He is currently an active advisor. He sits on the board of directors for 𝗲𝗓𝗃 Technologies, a Canadian cryptocurrency company. It says, just a reminder that Noel is and has always been despicable. He had a friend try and set up a meeting with Epstein to help him deal with the scandal of paying young girls for sex. Sleazy effing disgusting man. And the email shows that Biderman was paying for women to have sex. He is an Israeli American Zionist. is what this article says. Now, I don't know what's true or not, so don't come for me. Make your own opinions. Do your own research. This is all public information. Well, he's allegedly the one who's doing all kinds of weird shit. He stepped away from the position at Ashley Madison. People who were former users of Ashley claimed that they had not deleted their personal information. He's currently spending time. He became the CEO in 2007. Well, aren't we learning something new every day? Because I didn't have any idea who that was. Yeah, we've done some. I'm going to do a live on that. I think Ashley Madison was removed because OF is up. No, it's up. Okay, next document. Let's see. This is involving John Brockman. Let me see. He's a prominent literary agent and co-founder of the 𝗕𝗏 Foundation. He was associated with J.E., who was okay. Oh, Jeffrey was a primary funder. It says Epstein financed exclusive, I have to sneeze, dinners for Brockman, connecting him with scientists and tech billionaires. Okay, well, there's a 2-page email I'm going to share. I have to sneeze. Sorry. I'm going to share with you guys. So it says from John Brockman to J.E. It says, you well? Better than well. Things are going well, but no, Jeffrey. When am I going to see you? Give me a call tomorrow if you're bored. At home, redacted. Happy Hanukkah. John Brockman. P.S. You missed the big event on Saturday, a party with a dozen beautiful East Side girls. Well, a dozen 1-year-olds. A dozen 1-year-old girls? What the heck? Sick. Let me pull up more information on this John Brockman because this is disgusting. Yeah, so 1-year-olds called beautiful girls. Brockman is the gatekeeper of Western intellectual elite agent Dawkins Pinker Dennett, founder of 𝗕𝗏, host of Billionaire and Scientist Dinner. The man who for decades decided who shapes the minds of millions wrote about the infants to a PDF file billionaire. It stands unexplained. This is what he looks like. I'll show you guys a picture. Why would that be in here? You know, if it like, of course it's in here, is what I'm trying to say. That's him. he liked little 1-year-old girls. Where is he now? Let's see. I like to look up. I think he's still alive. Alive as of 2019. What does that mean? So we don't know if he's still alive? Okay, this article says Jeffrey's intellectual enabler. John is also the president. Okay. The latter has my research into this history. I've got to know quite a bit about John's role. Brockman may also be the reason why so many prominent academics, from Steve Pinker to Daniel Dennett, have found themselves answering awkward questions about their associations with Epstein. They are client of Brockman's. Oh, wow. Should we just write off as a natural collateral? Mm, no, Brockman was not in the dark about this stuff, clearly, because he's saying right here 1-year-old little girls. So that's disgusting. Okay, JB, good to see you. Thanks for being here. Just think if Epstein would have used his power for good. You can tell that guy does terrible things, right? He looks scary. Okay, a dozen 1-year-old girls. Sick. Next email is, let me share. Oh, I'm slouching. My bad. Okay, this is to Daniel Rusman, Mark Weinstein, Hillary McDonald, Tara Norris, Sean Lau are all CC'd regarding Epstein estate 2023, April 19th, 2023. Okay, let's start at the beginning. It says, Dear Special Agent Redacted, as you have apparently heard from AUSA, United States Attorney Redacted, we represent one of the two co-executors of the estate of Jeffrey Epstein. Hughes Hubbard and Reed represent the other. Recently, we have been responding to the request and demands for documents in connection with settlement that the estate entered into the government of the U.S. Virgin Islands, and in response to subpoenas issued in the litigations pending before the U.S. District Court. The estate is not a party to the SDNY litigation. As part of the estate's document production obligations, we are reviewing approximately 1,100 videos that were pulled from Epstein's emails and other files. Because of the potential existence of child in the videos, we worked out a protocol with the parties to whom we owed documentation, production of obligations, and that protocol gave our reviewers protection and comfort in undertaking the review. The protocol was submitted to SDNY Court Judge Jed Rakoff, who signed the order regarding review of video materials. During the review yesterday, our co-counsel at Hughes Hubbard came across a video that may contain child. Apparently, the video was shared with Epstein by an individual who was convicted of child type of offense. It depicted one or two topless women. In the abundance of caution, we halted the review and reached out to Redacted. Co-counsel at Hughes Hubbard can correct any misstatements in my description of the review, since I heard account secondhand. We would appreciate any guidance that you have. We have been careful to not download videos to the respective law firm servers, but the videos were processed without review by a document collection vendor. Thanks and look forward to hearing from you. So in dealing with his estate after he died, they found more CSAM. It's not frowned upon. Yeah, it is. You're right, Divine. Wow. And then the previous email says, the email in response says, Miss Ruzamna, thank you for reaching out regarding the potential discovery of CSAM. I have some questions and I'd like to chat by phone to discuss in further detail and about next steps. Could you let me know a time that would work for you? I'm available for the rest of today and pretty open tomorrow. My cell, redacted, is the best way to reach me. Thanks, and I look forward to speaking with you. Special Agent Redacted. Why do they redact the agents' names? First of all, they're law enforcement. And then why do they redact the assistant US state attorney? Wait, what company did I say this was? Patterson, Belknap, and Webb Taylor is the other company that was looking into Jeffrey's estate. Let's see what I can pull up on that company. Okay, it's still there. I wonder if this person is still there. Ruzamna? I'm so nosy. I need to go check. No, not there anymore. Oh, I'm sorry. It's a guy, Mr. Ruzamna Daniel. My bad. I was saying it was a female. He's not on their website. He's a highly regarded trial lawyer and was inducted in 2021. Where is he now? Is he still alive? Yeah, as of 2023. New York. Oh, okay, so he is on the website. It's just on a different page. I'll show you guys. Since that was the end of that email. This is him. Which I'm not saying he did anything wrong. He was just one of the ones working on it, Jeffrey's estates. Oh. Okay, let's move on to the next document. This one is from let's just read it. 66067. Okay. August 8th, 2019. Says details on redacted crisis intake. Must be another victim. On redacted at redacted Eastern Time, date of birth. Okay, all information. The National Threat Operations Center to report being abused by Jeffrey Epstein and other powerful men in New York. Redacted provided the following information. Redacted was modeling in 2015 at the age of Redacted when she met J.E. She attended Redacted's parties at his residence in New York. During one of the parties, Epstein asked Redacted to take a tour of Redacted. Once Epstein asked Redacted to take off her panties. When she didn't comply, he said, "It's fine. I'll pay you $500. Redacted complied. She thought he was a very important person. In 2016, Epstein slid his fingers up her dress and fingered her. At one of the parties, the this document, I think we've covered it before. So this one involves Alan and Orrin, the Orrin brothers right now, who are actually dealing with these charges. Alan and Orrin Alexander, they were like, they're like, I think real estate. They're big real estate guys, and they're literally doing a trafficking trial right now. Or they were going to. Let me look it up. Oh, it says it's going on right now. The trial? Oh, but it's federal. We can't see that. Not right now. Yeah, real estate empire to abuse dozens of women. 8 accusers testify, including a woman who was 16. They're facing life sentences ranging from 15 years to life. So they're being brought up in the Epstein file that we're reading here. It says, at one of the two parties, the two twin brothers, Alan and Orrin, who were involved in real estate, lured Redacted and her friend, Redacted, upstairs and locked the door. Redacted knocked the door back open, and the two ran back downstairs. Redacted stated that Orrin graped Redacted, and Orrin's brother Tal graped a 14-year-old girl named Redacted. Redacted tried to slit her wrist after the incident. Whoa. Redacted also met 3 women in the parlor room of Epstein's home. One woman she recognized as Epstein's British socialite. The women would find girls to have sex with Epstein. Epstein liked younger girls that were clean-shaven with small breasts. Redacted also went to his St. Thomas Island, which he referred to as St. Jeffrey. Epstein and other powerful men, including Bill Clinton and Trump, would have big orgy parties with her, other young girls, and older Victoria's Secret models. Is Naomi Campbell one of them? Yeah. Who are the 2 brothers? Do we have a photo? Yeah, I'll show you. That's wild. I have been kind of following their stuff too. I just haven't because I'm so caught up in Epstein. Redacted was offered to be paid off by a lawyer associated with Epstein case. Redacted is friends with Redacted. Went out to dinner with Redacted and the lawyers. And the lawyer Redacted, that's when the lawyer offered to pay a couple grand to silence her. Redacted is terrified that they might put out a hit on her and they know where she lives. Redacted had contact with J.E. from 2015 to 2019. Last contact was redacted ago. Why do they redact that information? Redacted was also contacted by one of Epstein's clientele's Redacted before his arrest, asking to meet up with Epstein. Redacted can be contacted on her cellular phone for questioning. Let me show you the Orrin brothers, a picture of them. So I need to look up to what's going on with their stuff. Did they get convicted or what? I haven't checked into it in a while. Okay, there's a clip I think I wanted to show you with this document. No, that's not. That's a different one. My bad. Um, I'm just checking to see if I had any. Oh yeah. I thought I had some notes on this, but maybe I don't. Yeah, so they're currently facing charges. Let me pull them up. Sorry. Okay. This is what they look like. What is this website? Why do they make you pay for that? Oh, that doesn't give a real picture of them. It just gives their court drawing. Let me pull up a real picture of them. I think they're like the same. You know how Diddy, we couldn't see Diddy's trial? I wonder if they do like a day by day on theirs. Wait, this is really them? They're not bad looking. But now that I know they do this, I'm like, ugh. Hold on. I'm pulling. Oh. Look at this. Okay, so that's them in court. Look. They're not ugly. That's the thing too. Wow. They def look so much. I ain't buying that picture. Yeah, they look scary. One of them is wearing the turtle suit too in the pics, and the other one isn't. Yeah, this is the brothers, Evie. They would look like, hey, Julio. They would look, I know, huh? Wow. So they were raping younger girls. Okay, let's move on to the next document. So this one is, I have a video to this as well. Oh, wait, well, I'll show you guys this one first. 280. Okay, here we have from Ted Waitt, subject Cuba, October 13th, 2004. And I don't know who Ted Waitt is. So let's check who that is before we get into the document. He was the co-founder of Gateway Computers. He was linked to Ghislaine Maxwell from 2005 to 2010. He attended the wedding of one of the Clintons' sons. He dated Maxwell after her primary involvement with Epstein. Oh, he's the one who traveled with her on that yacht. Yeah, I know. So that's who this email is from. So let's see what it says. Why is it redacted to who it's from? Not Jeffrey. It says reminder. Oh, so the original message is from John 𝗕𝗏𝗡𝗕 to Ted. Here's a translation of the document that Terry sent, which is in Spanish. His document also contains 2 photos. Conclusion on the hypothesis 2 is undeniable that some structural bosses and remote structures that are found in 𝗕𝗏𝗔𝗗, they could suggest some people that such elements could have been built for intelligent beings with even unknown objectives. Nevertheless, it is necessary to obtain more data before being able to do interpretations, more insurance of the nature of the objects observed to the present. This hypothesis assumes that said structures were built in land sign. To be valid, such possibility then signifies that 𝗕𝗏𝗔𝗗 had to be emerged in the past and turns out to be crucially and determined when 𝗕𝗏𝗔𝗂 submerged in the sea to establish the antiquity of the culture hypothetically related to these structures. The certain thing is that convincing and more precise data are needed to accept this hypothesis. Are natural megalithic structures that eventually were utilized by intelligent beings? This hypothesis is a combination of the 2 previous. It suggests that 𝗕𝗏𝗔𝗗 is a natural structure that in a past time could be emerged, and that given its geometric characteristics with aspect of bedrooms and running, could have been adapted for intelligent beings for its use with some housing or mystical purpose. Thus, the coexistence of evidently natural structures would be explained linked to geological failures and displacements of blocks in the Strait of Yucatan and certain very peculiar megalithic remote formations that could suggest a cultural utilization. How test validated, if any, of these hypotheses to clarify, validated of the relative hypothesis is that AI or L? All origin of the structures. I don't get what this is talking about. Of the region of 𝗕𝗏𝗔𝗗 is necessary to carry out more detailed investigations with the following. Determining if the zone of 𝗕𝗏𝗔𝗗 was emerged in the past and if it was when sank in the sea. 2, cartographier is a greater detail the region of 𝗕𝗏𝗔𝗗 and its outskirts to determine its dimensions and details of its structure. 3, interior, determining the composition and antiquity of the megalitos, determining the origin of the curious structures and cross diamond shaped, etc. Conclusions, the 𝗕𝗏𝗔𝗗 and underwater structures. Oh, I get it. Situated at the tip of San Antonio, they constitute a challenge for science. Only more detailed investigations will give us answers to the questioning on their composition, dimensions, origin, and possible cultural utilization. So John, this message was to John first. It said that's a report of the Cuban geologist on the so-called mega site. 2 images from the site are included. They are poor quality, but clearly show a square stone object as well as something resembling a pyramid. Scale is impossible to determine for these images. National Geographic Society. And then Ted responded and says, remind you of the emeralds. Maybe they are related. Cortez is involved. Let me know what you think. Who's Cortez? That document was confusing. They're describing underwater submarines? No way. So they're talking of underwater structures off of Chile. They speak of getting in contact with Russian treasure hunter to survey the area. Whoa, stone pyramids that became submerged. The underwater structure. Wow. Cuba was part of a bigger continent. Megastructures are talking about a pyramid at 2,000 feet deep off the coastal waters in Cuba with some type of mega technology. They are studying supposedly used by ancient intelligent civilization. We already knew that the pyramids that we know of had to be some sort of crazy tech since they are perfectly aligned with the stars. People are connecting it to Atlantis. Hmm. There was a 6,000-year-old submerged city discovered in Cuba. In 2001, a Canadian exploration company discovered enigmatic structures dated around 6,000 years old off the coast of Cuba. I don't think that has anything to do with it. What the heck? Yeah, I know. I don't really understand it, sadly. But I mean, they were saying that Ghislaine had submarines, right? And she was building something with Jeffrey Epstein. Am I tripping or did we cover that already? Let me see. I thought I had saved some notes on these, but apparently I didn't. Um, it's a weird document. I wish I understood it a little more. I'll have to like study it and look into the submarine theory or whatever they were doing underwater. Yeah, it's a geologist report on mysterious underwater megastructures off the coast of Cuba that are hypothesized to be built by intelligent beings. Billionaire philanthropist Ted Waitt forwarded the report to an unknown person, which is what we just read. Waitt was romantically linked to Ghislaine, and she knows how to pilot a submarine and has a great interest in deep sea diving. Was he emailing it to her? I have no idea why this would be included in the files or why there would be any redactions. What are these mega structures? How is this related to Epstein and Maxwell's crime? Are billionaires searching for Atlantis? because there are claims that Maxwell was obsessed with Atlantis. She founded the 𝗕𝗏𝗏 project, whose mission was to create a global ocean community. Her interest in eugenics. Let's watch this clip. We might understand a little bit more what that document was about. Let's watch this clip. Okay.
Clear if you look. So Robert Maxwell also was friends with Jacques Cousteau. They were very good personal friends. And Ghil'en grew up knowing Jacques Cousteau. And I think it's pretty clear if you look at her interests in life, the fact that she named, dark journalists dug this up, that she named the submarine she was piloting for Epstein the Atlantis submarine.
Yeah.
It's pretty clear that Jeffrey Epstein's connections to the Atlantis mythos are coming from Ghil'en Maxwell, because she says that, I don't know who got this out of.
This is where her obsession with Atlantis began.
Yes, because look, what happened is Jacques Cousteau admitted to Robert Maxwell that the whole reason he went into oceanography was to find Atlantis. So Jacques Cousteau became incredibly world famous as an oceanographer and an oceanic explorer, but it's because he was obsessed with trying to find Atlantis that he got into that in the first place. And there are rumors that Ghil'en eventually cultivated a relationship with Jacques Cousteau's granddaughter, Alexandra Cousteau, and that she was on the island. Ghil'en seems to have been seems to be bisexual. And so it's rumored that, from out of her idolization of Jacques Cousteau, she cultivated this relationship with Alexandra Cousteau. Alexandra Cousteau has been asked about it. I think she may have even been subpoenaed over it. And she said no. She denied having been on the island. But the fact that she was worried about it, by itself suggests something. Anyway, so Ghil'en develops this fascination with Atlantis. Another way we know this is that, again, Daniel List put this together. When she was fleeing the authorities after Epstein's murder, as she finally left New York City, she was a Manhattanite. When she finally left New York City, she gets this property in an isolated area of New Hampshire under a false name. And the name that she uses is Janet Marshall. Janet Marshall was actually called Janet Atlantis Marshall Stevenson. And sometimes she published under the name Janet Stevenson. She used all these names. But Janet Atlantis Marshall was a feminist author who wrote this book called Departure about a woman on an old sailing vessel from like the 19th century, who develops a rapport with the ship's captain, and who also has to put up with these, I think they're Polynesian islanders who are on the boat, who believe that it's bad luck for a woman to be on a sailing voyage and so on and so forth. So they're very hostile to her being there. And then, of course, she's the one woman in a crew of men, and the captain gets sick. And I think also the what do you call it? Whatever, vice captain, the guy under the captain.
The first mate.
The first mate, yes, is also incapacitated. And this very shrewd, perceptive, compelling woman finds that she has to take control of the ship or they're all going to sink. And somehow she manages to become the captain of the ship and to command people's allegiance, and successfully, sail on.
You mean on the island, Green-Eyed?
So what does it tell you, first of all, about the personal psychology of Ghil'en Maxwell, that this author is important to her with a story like this, right? this woman amidst like powerful men who finds a way to captain this ship, right? And to become a, captain of her own destiny and so forth.
Also, what's the story with that weird blue and white temple on Epstein Island?
Yes, exactly. So my point is this, is that if she's using the name basically Janet Atlantis to get this property in New Hampshire, and she named Epstein's submarine the Atlantis submarine, and she grew up with Jacques Cousteau having been her father's buddy, and he's searching for Atlantis his whole life. Well, it stands to reason, and the reason that there's an Atlantean temple on Little St. James, it's a temple dedicated to Poseidon. Poseidon was the founding god of Atlantis. So Poseidon established Atlantis in the Greek myths, and this temple on Little St. James was a temple to Poseidon. So it's an Atlantean temple. Also, there's a labyrinth at Zorro Ranch. That was his Jeffrey Epstein's property out west in New Mexico, the Zorro Ranch.
Yep.
Right? There's a labyrinth there in the shape of Atlantis, the ground plan of Atlantis, as Plato describes it.
That circular maze?
Yeah, it's a concentric circular maze that's basically a representation of Plato's description of the ground plan of Atlantis. Now, follow me here. Why is Epstein building these things? Because Ghislaine Maxwell kind of like made this myth interesting to him. She's the one who was obsessed by it. And he winds up, I think, identifying and connecting with the Atlantean mythos through his relationship with her.
Find a picture of his Zorro Ranch Atlantis maze.
Yeah, or labyrinth.
Labyrinth.
Yeah. Now, at Zorro Ranch, according to some of the victims, women were taken there and held there. In some cases, women were. That's exactly.
Oh my gosh! Yes, green-eyed. That circle in the ground. Whoa! Oh my goodness!
How Plato describes the structure of Atlantis.
Yeah.
The 3 concentric rings and the 4 pathways leading in toward the center of the city, 4 waterways leading to the center of the city. So some of these victims say they were taken to Zorro Ranch to be used as breeders for genetically enhanced fetuses. Jeffrey Epstein had key card access to the evolutionary dynamics division of the biology department at Harvard University. And he maintained that access to the evolutionary dynamics program at Harvard for a decade after his first prosecution. So this guy's already in, 2007, 2008, something like that, already prosecuted, gets off with a very light plea deal because the authorities are told he belongs to intelligence. It's above your pay grade, which, by the way, is further evidence he was working with U.S. intelligence, not just Israel.
Right. If it was Mossad, how would they?
They were not going to swing that over a federal judge and like prosecutor.
Right.
Okay? That's our intelligence, they were told, that he worked with. Again, worked with, not worked for.
What about the FBI, though?
The FBI and the CIA have been engaged in a power struggle since the days of J. Edgar Hoover. Their whole books have been written about it.
Yep.
So if the FBI wants somebody, they don't always get them because CIA, although it's not supposed to be operating domestically, does plenty of domestic operations. Right. And so does NSA. And so, FBI has severe limitations on what it can manage. They wanted the UFO file too, and they couldn't get it. There's evidence of that, of Hoover trying to get a hold of the UFO files. So the FBI UFO files are about how the FBI can't get a hold of the UFO files. Okay. Anyway, so evolutionary dynamics, Harvard. Alan Dershowitz, Trump's lawyer.
Alan Dershowitz, Harvard, Epstein, all really, really, really connected.
Was also very close to Epstein. And he says that the stuff Epstein used to say about genetics freaked him out because it sounded like Nazi eugenics talk. All right, so one Jew saying about the other Jew, like this shit he used to talk about genetics sounded like the Nazis to me. I don't know what he was up to, but it didn't sound good. And it was about eugenics, creating like using genetic engineering. And by the way, Jeffrey Epstein funded the research that led to CRISPR. Our CRISPR, state-of-the-art genetic engineering, that research was funded by him too. Okay. So he wanted to basically implant these CRISPRed fetuses into these women on Zorro Ranch and breed a kind of super race. And interestingly enough, all the women who were being used for that, and the majority of the models that were being funneled through his modeling agency and brought onto the island and so forth, were of Nordic phenotype. And
What?
that fact is particularly interesting if you line it up next to what Ghislaine Maxwell's aides say. I have this referenced in my Substack article on Ghislaine Maxwell. One of her, she would have these live-in male aides. And one of them talked extensively. And he said that he's from Sweden. I don't remember exactly. He has a very Swedish name. And he said that she would bring young, good-looking, smart men from Sweden every 3 months on tourist visas. She would rotate them only from Sweden. Blonde, good-looking, intelligent aides. And he said, you know, the creepy thing was when I was living there and doing all this stuff for her, I would notice that, like, you know, if my hair was on my pillow or like, you know, there was hair my hair was in the bathroom or something, it would be gone. Next thing I noticed, it would be gone. And I wasn't the one who cleaned it up.
What?
Now, you've seen Gattaca?
I don't think so.
Okay. This is a sci-fi film from the late 1990s. From a single strand of hair, you can clone somebody. And what this Swede was saying was that his hair was being collected from his room by somebody. His DNA was being collected. So it wasn't just the women. She was rotating the Swedish men every 3 months to be her male aides at her house and do all kinds of stuff for her personal assistant. And by the way, the other interesting thing that he said was she kept a grenade on her desk at all times. Like ready to grab it and pull the pin. And it was because she believed that at any moment, like they were going to come for her. And she'd be damned if she doesn't take them out with her. Okay.
Wow.
So, and you got to remember, this woman was a submarine pilot. She was a trained helicopter pilot. When Epstein was going all around the Bahamas, searching for Atlantis, I'll come to that next, she was the one piloting the helicopter herself. Okay. So, you know, this is like a 007 kind of woman, trained helicopter pilot, trained submarine pilot, expert diver from the days when her father was buddy with Jacques Cousteau. She learned to be a diver, deep sea diver. And her life's ambition from a young age was to become a marine biologist. Her father forced her to go into business. She wanted to be a marine biologist. So anyway, we're dealing with some such person, and she keeps a grenade on her desk at all times, right? Ready to use it when they come for her. Who's the they who's going to come for her? Well, we'll get to that.
The Olympians.
So she's piloting these helicopters around the Bahamas, and her and Epstein are island hopping down there. And the most interesting thing that they did is they went to Fidel Castro,
right,
and asked him for permission to dive on a site off the western end of Cuba, where Paulina Zalitsky, a kind of oceanographic archaeologist, marine archaeologist, had discovered an Atlantean city. And look, this is no fucking joke. There are sonar scans of this thing. And it was reported for a while in the press to the point where I distinctly remember, and I've got some photos of this in the piece I wrote, I distinctly remember that National Geographic said they were going to look into it, that it's interesting, we'll look into it, we'll send some people there. The story disappeared. And Paulina Zalitsky, okay, so it's in a part of Cuba that's near Mexico, between the western end of Cuba and the Yucatan Peninsula, where we have Mayan pyramids, right?
Right.
So and the structure she found kind of looked Mayan.
How deep?
Here's the thing. The last time that piece of earth was above water was 50,000 years ago. 50,000 years ago. Now I'm going to come back to that time frame. So most people agree who've done Atlantis research, Atlantis was destroyed about 12,000 years ago.
Right.
So this is an early Atlantis. This is like way before the destruction, this site. This site went underwater 50,000 years ago. And
how would Steve find images of this underwater
Paulina
structure?
Zelitsky, Paulina Zelitsky, underwater city
off the coast of
off
Cuba.
the coast of Cuba.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's crazy, man. The thing is, like, it's miles, it's square miles in size. It's a city. And
I'm screaming. This guy is Danny Jones. He has a podcast. I'm reading what you guys are saying. I know. Yeah, the National Geographic. Yes, Green-Eyed. Hey, Tinks, good to see you. Zelensky. Yes. Hey, MSM. They had us looking up with space race all the while they were exploring below. The Bahamas. How many people in tours passed JE without knowing it? Yup. General Patton said he found traitors. He fought for us, America's traitors, and didn't even realize it. Yes, the paternity test. They were everywhere. He had like thousands and thousands of them. I read in a different article. Hitler had UFOs in the 1940s, and when Hitler went MIA, the Soviets. Oh, okay. Yeah, the paternity test. There are channels that talk about Atlanteans being reptilian and aquatic. Cuba, Mayans, Incas, that's what y'all are on tonight? Yeah.
She noticed it had some quasi-Mayan features to the structures. So she decided to trace any possible connection to the Mayan structures in Yucatan. There it is. Now that's an Atlantean city, an actual one. Okay.
So these are what kind of, these are some sort of scans?
Yeah. Based on like sonar.
How deep does it say this is?
It's,
see if we can find it, Steve.
yeah. 650 meters below sea level.
2 square
Depth of
kilometers.
650 meters below sea level.
How many how many feet is that? How many feet is 650
It's like times 3.
kilometers?
6 times 3 is like,
huh?
something like 3,000 feet.
Really?
You can do the calculation on the side and let us know. Look, so she goes to Mexico, to Yucatan, to trace the connection, potential connection to the Mayans. She's arrested in Mexico, severely interrogated, held under horrible conditions, and for no legitimate crime.
2,000 feet. Good
So
Lord.
Ghislaine Maxwell wanted to dive on this, see? She went to Castro with Epstein and asked permission to dive on this site. Okay? Or maybe take the submarine down.
Yeah, you couldn't, I don't know how you would dive 2,000 feet.
Yeah.
But yeah, you'd have to have
Take the submarine down. So anyway, they severely interrogate Paulina Zelitsky in Mexico, put the fear of God in her, and packed her up and sent her back to Canada where she came from. And she refused to ever discuss this subject again. Even people I know have approached her, like family friends of hers, and she doesn't want to talk about it. So whatever they did to her in Mexico in the prison they took her to, with under no legitimate legal charge, was so bad that she was scared out of talking about this for the rest of her life. And
Why do you think that is?
I'm sure it wasn't the Mexicans who were really interrogating her. I'm sure it was, the folks we have down in Mexico. Because Mengele was in Mexico too. We thought he was too hot to bring him into the United States. So we would deal with Mengele in Mexico. We'd go into, and the Nazis, another funny story, it's a horrible story, but another story that shows you how the Nazis had our deep state, had the balls of our deep state in their grip, is that the paperclip rocket scientists used to go to border towns in Mexico and meet with their counterparts coming from Argentina and from Mexico. And they would hand all the classified rocketry data to their Nazi associates, all the sensitive experiments they were working on, as part of the American rocket program.
And we let them do it. We knew about it.
Well, they got caught, right? And then they get caught and they get interrogated, I think by the FBI. And they get interrogated. And here's their response. They go, so next thing after they're grilled about this, one of the rockets goes off course. The rockets from the program that was ongoing in Texas, run by these paperclip scientists, and it hits Mexico. It's an area in Mexico.
Mm.
And the paperclip
Oops.
scientists are like, you know, if you keep putting us under this kind of pressure and interrogating us and questioning us all the time, rockets are bound to go off course. And one of them might cause a war with Mexico. And basically our deep state stood down, or whatever. Our government stood down. Okay. So that's another vignette that tells you who was really in control here. It's the CIA people who brought these freaking Nazis over in the first place and set them up. And they were going down and dealing with Mengele in Mexico. Anyway, let me not go off on a tangent. So Paulina Zaleski has the shit scared out of her, and she won't talk about the subject again. But yes, they found an Atlantean city, and Ghislaine Maxwell wanted to go down there, you know, probably with the Atlantis submarine and explore it. Well, what does this all tell you? I mean, they're interested in Atlantis. They're interested in eugenics. They're interested in anti-gravity. What does that look like to you? And answer me this question. If Jeffrey Epstein had access to the deepest layer of the American deep state, where we have ongoing electrogravitics programs, where the truth about Atlantis is already known, and where eugenics research is probably already also being conducted in underground facilities, why would he be running some ghetto operation to replicate it himself? You follow? Like, if you're trying to figure out how a UFO flies, it means you don't have access to the ones being built by Lockheed.
Right.
If you're got some ranch out there and you have to like create a modeling agency to funnel women out there to this ranch, and you happen to have key card access to an evolutionary biology program at Harvard, and you're going to figure out how to enhance some fetuses and like ghetto style impregnate these women with them, it means you don't have access to the deep underground military facilities where cutting edge eugenics research is probably taking place. So
I think he was trying himself to achieve parity.
Yes. Yeah. Not even parity, like something, some kind of foothold. That means he's on the outside. He's not working for the people who run the world. He's on the outside.
Wow. I had not watched that clip, and I'm really glad we did. Because, yeah, I didn't know any of that. I know some of y'all did, but that is Danny Jones' podcast? Oh, yeah, Jason Giorgiani explains her secret searches for Atlantis, her interest in eugenics, which apparently are not new claims from what I'm reading in the comments. I had no idea, and it makes sense. I know. And it's wild because we were just trying to figure out we were trying to learn what that document was about. That's pretty crazy. Okay, let's move on to a few more documents. Stem cells. Hey, Hussein, good to see you. Very wild. Quantum. There's just, now that's going to have to make me go in the deep diving hole of freaking the Atlantis. And my mom moved us 1K above sea level. She had reoccurring dreams of a tidal wave wiping out towns. Really? That's scary. Okay, let's see. So this next email, it's sickening. They all are. But this one is talking about, it's from Redacted to Jeffrey. Saturday, July 10th, 2010. They can clone a human from one hair. That freaked me out. Yes. I can't believe that. Okay, so this email right here, it's just one line, and it says, the Snow White was effed twice as soon as she put her costume on. Yeah, so whoever Snow White is, she got effed twice. But I'm going to tell you who that is in a second. So that was one email. Allegedly, this is from... Oh, sorry, I went small. Let me pull up the notes I have on this. It's not good, guys. These emails are just disgusting. And these are just the short ones that I'm coming across. I haven't even gone into depth on the big ones. We'll see how this one does with YouTube. So this is just, let me read the other emails because they're all attached to Snow White. So this next one is from the same person. They're all from Jess Staley. I couldn't remember his name. You guys know who Jess Staley is? He's the one talking about Snow White being effed. He is an American banker and the former group chief of Barclays. Allegations against him in the Epstein files, guilty to soliciting pee from a minor in the early 2000s. So he's the one who wrote these nasty emails. This one, he says, maybe they're tracking you. That was fun. Say hi to Snow White. To Jeffrey from Jess Staley. And then Jeffrey, let me get to the next one. So he says, maybe they're tracking you. That was fun. Say hi to Snow White. Friday, July 9th, 2010. Jeffrey says, what character would you like next? To Jess. And Jess says, Beauty and the Beast. I think they're talking about young girls, if you're catching on. Are you catching on? Because who's, are you guys catching on? So Snow White was in the paintings. Do you remember in the pictures? Who was Snow White? So Snow White is allegedly this girl named Selena. Staley is a guilty scumbag, by the way. Selena was a woman trafficked to Staley when he makes the infamous Snow White reference. Her resume links Selena back to her true identity, which I won't say her name. Like Elaine, Sarah, and Karina, her primary role appears to have been recruiting young girls into the operation and cultivating relationships with ultra-wealthy men. Years later, she rebrands. She gives a major interview to a business publication about funding a women's empowerment organization after a humiliating network experience. So at one point, I guess she worked for MC2 modeling group. I have to look into that. And she has ties to Russia and possible intelligence connection. KGB honeypot. Today, she lives as a Manhattan socialite and nonprofit founder. That's who allegedly Snow White was, but I don't know. Like other princesses. It's sick. Disney characters, but we know all about Disney, right? 3 princesses wear blue and white. Which brings me to, I don't know if that's her though, because it sounds like, I don't know. Sounds like it could be someone else, but let's go to read this next one that I have. This one is to Jeffrey from Redacted, July 28th, 2014. It says, sad news. CNN reported that Walt Disney's new film called Jet Black, the African-American version of Snow White, has been canceled. all of the seven dwarfs, dealer, stealer, mugger, forger, drive-by, homeboy, and shank, have refused to sing hi ho, because they says it offends Black prostitutes. They also say they have no intention of singing It's Off to Work We Go. This one, I'm reading it with you guys because I have no idea what the hell they're talking about here. Like, what does that mean? The seven dwarfs. Is he referencing obviously to people, right? I couldn't figure that out. Yeah, I was thinking it could be code 2. Let me look at my notes if I have anything. Yeah, I was trying to figure out if it could be possibly code for something. I don't know. Well, I'll have to look deeper into that, but it definitely sounds like it's code for something. I tried to Google it. I have to Google almost everything because I have to go back. Wait, what number is this? Hold, please. Let me see if it pulls anything up. No, it doesn't bring anything up connected to this document, which is so weird. Like, it doesn't give me like any information on it. Elsa and Alice. I just thought it was definitely code Waitt himself. No, now after Walt died. That's why a dwarf named Homeboy. Yeah. A dwarf named Homeboy, and then it says dealer, stealer, mugger. So I thought he was talking about like people that were involved with the businesses. But then I don't get what the whole like the prostitute thing is about. And Jet Black, was that even a real thing? Let's Google it. I think it's code words. Yeah, see? Oh. It was a thing. Oh, just kidding. No, it wasn't. That was a fake page. It's so weird because there's like links to it, and then it says it's totally not. There's an American animated series. No, it doesn't say anything about that. So then it has to be code for something. I'll have to do more research on that. But let's move on to the next document. I have some pictures too, but let's read this one first. 258. This one I do have a little bit of background on this email. So this one is a 2018 thread with Woody Allen. They're joking about eating hearts and bones. So this is a thread with Woody Allen. It was Shank or dealer mugger, forger drive-by. It's definitely code for something. I'm wondering if there may be, but it said CNN reported today that Walt Disney movie Jet Black, the African American version of Snow White, has been canceled. Homeboy wasn't used when Walt Disney was alive. It's a joke, but it's code word for people. I know. That's what I'm thinking too. He's making fun of the culture with codes. I thought it had something to do with like trafficking like African American girls or something. Mugger, I know. It's a weird document. That's why I wanted to read it, because I haven't even checked if they took that one down, but they'll be taking weird ass shit down. Okay, so this one, like I said, is a text thread with Woody Allen. That's sicko. It says February 14th, 2019. Sender, Jeffrey. It says, we can mold some coconut cake in his image. Sender says, they respond. Well, there's nothing there. And then it gets redacted. The sender does. And the participant. It says over 15,000 views of our videos on LinkedIn. Participant Ava says, you back? And then there's a file sent from Karina. This one says, waiting for her answer. The last thing we discussed yesterday, that by 12:45, she should be free and we're going to the salon, etc. And then to Patrick. Another person says, P.S. Sir, I'm coming by the house by 10:30 today, right? The next response is, Sir, Darren Indyke has sent me weird link via Dropbox. I think he has been hacked. Don't open anything from him just in case. Sender Terje says, CNN article on 𝗕𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. Is he that stupid? And then the next one is redacted. And it says, this kid couldn't have done bikini wax because hair are too short. Next time, doing her and redacted nails. Kid will come to the house straight from Frederick with iPad portfolio. Done with Pornhub introduction. This tripped me out. I'm like, wait, what? When I read this earlier. It says, the kid couldn't have done bikini wax because the hairs are too short. Next time, doing her and redacted nails. Kid will come to the house straight from Frederick with iPad and portfolio, because Jeffrey used to have portfolios of kids. They're talking about a bikini wax on a kid. The kid couldn't have done bikini wax because hairs are too short. Done with the 𝗕𝗏𝗏 introduction. Someone responds and says, kid is taking placement text next week. I gave her all the information. Sender redacted says her social security is in Russia. Kid, .. Participant redacted. It says breakfast Saturday pre-read. Someone, wait, what did I miss earlier? Let's start over. We can mold some coconut cake in his image. And then an image is sent. Participant, over 15,000 views of our video on LinkedIn. Ava sends, you back? Jeffrey says, yes. There's a link. Okay. Sender says, skirt. Karina responds. Can't see it. That's when someone said, waiting for her answer. The last thing we discussed yesterday. Okay. She should be free when we're going to the salon. Senders redacted. P.S. Sir, I'm coming by the house today by 10:30 today, right? I believe it's Jeffrey. Yeah, responds and says yes. Who's Darren Indyke? I need to look that up. Jeffrey responds with hack. Okay, so the kid in the bikini wax. Her social security is from Russia, so she's a kid from Russia. Breakfast Saturday pre-read. Jeffrey says, great. Question mark. Participant says, yep. Oh, the name is redacted. Question mark. Sender, which is redacted, says, yep. Jeffrey says, constitutional crisis, presidential border wall. Sender, who is redacted, says, I'm driving. 𝗕�ey𝗕𝗄𝗏 says, call me. The sender's redacted says, Patrick told me that the kid has baby hair. Even Patrick. Baby hair? Ooh. Yeah, Rebecca. The DOJ was probably looking at this. Dude, this is crazy. Baby hair? And then Jeffrey says, great. Participant sender says, did she leave yet? Sender says, no, he's still cutting her hair. I'm waiting. Jeffrey says, okay. BB, 2 separate charges, newspapers and gifts, submarine left till later. 𝗘𝗽𝗁 says, appear so. Or participants, I don't know who that is. Senders redacted says, should I come today or see you tomorrow? Are you finished? No, I'm after the kid and she's still in the chair. Oh, yes, then you tomorrow, as I need to leave tonight at 8. But send me a photo of your finished hair so I can start thinking about clothes. Tell Patrick I want your hair young and fresh. Okay, smiley. It's impossible, too late. Take a time machine. There's a photo, an image, 5 to 10 minutes. And she's taking Uber to the house. Could be a little shorter. The ends are not in great shape. She probably didn't want him to cut too much, but will grow back quickly when you are a child. Oh boy, smiley, smiley. Is Patrick having fun? Sender says, I keep repeating that she is 21. Then it says, at 243 pounds, Trump tips the scale into obesity. Step 2, heart attack. We're talking about Trump there. Somebody responds and says, good idea regarding lingerie. Next message says, this immigration bill, total cluster F, but he never read it. Next message says, I'm so happy that you're happy. Smiley, smiley, smiley. Sender says, sorry, my phone died. Redacted invited me to the opera. Here I am. Emoji. Okay. Emoji or photo. Then it says, no one except the Dems did. Looks great. Can't reach her yet. We'll keep on trying and let you know as soon as she wakes up. Sir, I am sorry. I have a cosmetology appointment at 10 and I can be at the house at 11. Or should I cancel it? And they respond with, the child will come by 9 a.m. No, keep it. Keep it. I'll see you after the dentist. Okay, thank you so much. How is Jeffrey? How is everything? How is your cold? Still sick? Getting better, almost gone. Sir, I'm already at the dentist waiting for the kid. Not finished yet? I'm here, smiley. Sorry, didn't know your boy was here. You can always tell me, no worry. I can come visit you no matter what. 𝗕�ey𝗕 says, got the right person, Delta Force, will send you something later. Call me when you can. Redacted says, I'm in the house, smiley. Redacted says, my guy effed up his knee. What's his full name? Redacted says, Turge, I got it. Turge Rod. Rod or Roed? Turge Rod is it's Norwegian pronounced Roed? Got it. Do you know where he is right now? Sends a wiki page. Yes, he is in London. Redacted says his wife is Norwegian ambassador to the UN. He is with the kids in London. He leaves for Greece in the morning. One redacted. Mueller asking the court to give Manafort 20 years. 24 years, correct? I take it that's a bad sign? It's a message. I'm running late, 8 a.m. No problem. No worry. These were all from iChat messages. What's up with the baby hair? Wait. Were they using it for cloning again? Because remember what we just listened to? Oh, wait, that wasn't the one with Woody Allen. My bad. I know I told you guys that was. I'll read the one. I know I got confused. I'll read the one with Woody Allen next. You guys are like, where does Woody Allen come by? But those are a lot of people were mentioned in there as well. So too bad it doesn't tell us who it's from. It's all redacted. Except for Turge. So I'll have to look into who Turge is. Okay, next document. This is the one with Woody Allen that I said I was going to read, but I got him confused. This one has the talks about the heart and whatnot. Hold please while I pull it up. Unless it got taken down, but last I checked it wasn't. So no, it's not. Okay. This one is the one with Woody Allen. Here we go. Yeah, me too. Okay, Woody Allen, Haley's, July 10th, 2018. Sender, Woody Allen. Unfortunately, we will not be able to make it on the 17th. We have a prior dinner party to go to, so we can't get out of it or reschedule. Jeffrey says, will you go to the 16th, to the 16 downtown? Woody says, we're going to a lunch party on July 18th for them. Are you going to that? We are not going to the thing downtown on the 16th. Come for lunch. Ethan Hoster resume. Education. Okay, so Woody sends him a resume of some guy named Ethan. But it says Jeffrey Gorman, creative computer owner, and redacted. Why did they redact it? Then Woody Allen says, anything you can do would be greatly appreciated. You have no idea. Jeffrey says, star lunch tomorrow, New York, 2:30. And then this message, the sender's redacted. It says, I'm flying tonight with Hannity. Jeffrey says, great, Norwegian embassy invite for you if you have time tomorrow, London. 𝗲𝗏𝗃𝗏𝗃𝗏𝗃, real deal. Woody Allen says, he can also start today if that's helpful. He needs to make money. Should Ethan get in contact with David now? Jeffrey says, yes, I email you. Woody says, thanks. Ethan emailed David, just so you know. And then that's still Woody. And then Woody says, Woody said that you are probably thrilled that you met me, that you probably have never met anyone so much on the take, not even in politics. Jeffrey says, 𝗕𝗽𝗓𝗓? I don't know what the hell that means. He didn't just because. Wait, what? Let's look what that means really quick. Okay, it says he was a Ugandan military officer, president of Uganda. Woody said that you're probably thrilled that you met me. 𝗕𝗲𝗓𝗓. And then Jeffrey says he didn't just because heartburn, he ate them. Hearts. Woody Allen says, thanks, smiley. At least I'm thinner. Jeffrey says, because you also eat the bones, providing fiber. So they're joking about eating hearts and bones. And in Epstein's world of child and abuse, this joke lands like a gut punch. Woody says, I don't like waste. Whoever Ronnie, now there's a message from Ronnie. It says, hey, Jeffrey, wanted to check on status of lipid treatment if you're doing injections. Otherwise, have a great summer. Let me know. Jeffrey says to Woody, type of food Thursday? Woody says, how very nice of you to ask. Let me ask Woody, just so you know, Ethan has emailed and left a message for David and has gotten no response. Wait. Why does it keep talking in third person? Is this his wife? Or is he talking in third person? Heartburn is also code for the cult law requiring that if a man starts to have feelings for his slave, or the Epstein wives get jealous of the slave, they unalive her, cook her, and eat her. They burn her to protect the heart of the evil. Progressional cannibalism. What? This is disgusting. Okay, it says type of food. Okay, Woody says, how very nice of you to ask. Okay, I already read that one. I already read that one. So far, I have nothing to thank David for. I hope he comes through. Jeffrey says he will. If possible, Woody would love to have Japanese food. Thank you. Jeffrey says K. Sender, who's redacted, says, why do you say helper is real deal? Jeffrey says it will wait till F2F. But definitely. Lots of fun stories. Jeffrey sends an Indeed link. Woody's line says, why are you sending this to me? Is David not able to help Ethan? Am I missing something? Jeffrey says, I just wanted you to see 10,000 jobs in Manhattan alone. The sender says, this is a different message. Sender redacted. Morning, want to FaceTime? Jeffrey says, okay. Woody says, I like everything that your assistants usually order in regards to the Japanese food. The only comment I would suggest is that I don't like the salad. Is it possible for them to order a different salad or switch it for tofu, as I love tofu? Thank you. Good morning. I'm always looking for improvements and to perfect everything. Jeffrey says, yes, keep doing it. Why not? Woody says, if I'm a happy camper, it's much easier for everyone. Woody has learned this throughout the years. Woody said, I'm the Nuge of your life. It says it's coming from Woody Allen, so I'm confused. Jeffrey says, a mild description closer to Bane. The sender's redacted says, did you mean to call me or mommy? Who the hell is mommy? Jeffrey says, mommy called me. Sender's redacted says, on the subway. We'll call in a little. That is weird. He is messaging himself. No. Spirit cooking, they dine on human meat and hunt people. It's a thing. It's a thing now. Yeah, remember the video we saw on Ellen yesterday? About her eating like babies and being the biggest cannibal. I wonder if Woody and daughter use the same email. That's what I was thinking. I was thinking it's either the daughter or the wife. Wait, isn't that the same person? That's fucked up. Because he married his stepdaughter, right? Woody Allen is disgusting human being. There's no summary for it either. I'm looking. I think the general. See, yeah, somebody in the comments said, I believe it was his wife, Sun Yin, messaging him because they communicate about Woody in third person. Sun Yin. Wow. That's really disgusting. It was an adopted daughter, not saying it makes it any better. Yeah, I know. It was an adopted daughter. He married his stepdaughter. He married. Yeah. Okay. So let's see. That's disturbing as hell. I have 100 pictures I want to go through, but we might just save that for tomorrow. Yeah. We have more documents tomorrow, and we have 100 pictures to go through that are very, very, very scary pictures. But we've already been live almost 3 hours here. Wow. I didn't realize it had been that long. Okay. Let's end this live. I will make another Epstein live for tomorrow. We'll do pictures, the pictures that I had for today there. We'll read more documents. We have a Nancy case or live now after this. I need to watch a happy movie. Yeah, let's go hang out over at Nancy's live. I'm going to grab a drink. I think it's time. It's 7 p.m. where I'm at. So let's end this live. Where's Chucky? Oh, Jody. No, we're doing Nancy. Old days. Wait, you missed Jody earlier. What the heck? We did Jody earlier. I was going to say, wait, you missed it, old days. With the intestine poop eating of the babies, I'm thinking these people were not human. It's disgusting, Kimmy. They still haven't found Nancy? No, they haven't. So we're just going to do a quick live hangout, have a drink, see what's up for the night. If there's nothing going on, we'll just end it. But Melly, do a show once a month. Good things? I know, huh? Melly, what are you sipping? You'll find out. Oh, old days, you missed it. And it was so good. No, it wasn't for members only. It was, of course I missed it. Yeah, it was, we did the opening statements. So you guys only missed opening statements. We'll be doing, day one tomorrow. This was intense. I know it was. I didn't even show you guys the pictures either, but we'll do that tomorrow. But definitely hit the like button on the way out. Let me see what time Nancy's scheduled. I think it might even be right now. Did I go too long? Oh, shoot. Yeah, I did. It says like, it was an hour behind. I hope no one showed up over there. Oopsie. Sorry, guys. Melly, has this case ever gave you nightmares? This is just like some of the documents and some of the ones I still have to read to you guys. Yes. I haven't been sleeping very well. Trial tomorrow? Yes, trial tomorrow. Reschedule time? No. Nancy right after this. I just scheduled it 15 minutes out. So hit the like button, hop on over there ASAP. Don't miss it. We're just going to hang out. Sipping on the lean. No, not sipping on the lean, sipping on the beer. They would have seen. Yeah, Epstein is a nightmare. He is. Okay. Shout out to you guys for being here. Hit the like button because I know that I'm probably going to be censored. The minute I take this down, go end it, it's going to say you're demonetized for talking about the truth. Vanjie, thank you. I will meet you guys over there. I'm just having one. Thank you, Debbie. Love you and appreciate you. Okay, hit the like button on the way out. I'll see you on Nancy Live right after this.